Do you guys remember those idiots about 5 years ago that were calling for the silver squeeze? I want to talk about that. Here's the deal. We're now in March of 2025 and gold has hit all-time highs. It hit $3,000 an ounce, and analysts expect that gold is going to go to $3,500 by the end of this year. Surprise, surprise, silver hasn't really been doing anything over the last handful of years. In fact, it's been relatively flat, hovering in between, consistently $30 to $33 an ounce at the time of the recording of this video. But about 5 years ago, I believe it was 5 years, maybe it was 4, I can't remember. Maybe it was only 3 years ago, but there was talks about the silver squeeze. Do you remember this? It was right around the time that GameStop was happening and everybody was just getting all crazy on Wall Street bets and Wall Street silver. And they were calling for a silver squeeze, which essentially was that everybody should go out and buy silver just so that way they can break the COMEX, the Commodities Exchange. And what happened was, a lot of people, uneducated people, believed in this hype and listened to this utter trash, and they ended up going and just buying tons and tons of silver, and they essentially either lost money or they're just sitting on the same amount of silver and the same price, and just it hasn't really been doing anything, whereas gold, on the other hand, has consistently been breaking all-time highs. Now, the one thing that I wanted to talk about was essentially something that I witnessed during this time, and it was this older woman who walked into the coin shop that I happened to be at while I was recording videos. I stopped the recording of the video so that way the coin shop owner could conduct his business with the old lady that walked in. She pulled out a tube of gold maples, and at the time, I want to say that gold was at around, I want to say 1,700 an ounce, maybe 1,600. I forget the exact amount, but gold obviously was nowhere where it was today. And she said that she wanted to turn in all of her gold and trade it in for silver. Now, had it have been my store, I would have told the woman, look, here's why it's a bad idea. I'll still do the transaction for you, but here's why I don't think it's a good idea. And I would have advised her against it. But being that it wasn't my store, I wasn't going to essentially ruin a sale for the coin shop owner. So she traded in her gold. She cited that it was for the silver squeeze that she was hearing so much about. And essentially all these people were thinking that they were going to get rich with silver. And so she traded in her gold. She left with, tubes and tubes of silver. And that was the end of that. Fast forward, that silver is either worth less than what she paid for it, and or is the same. Gold, on the other hand, she would have seen her investment or her savings in those 20 gold maples. That would have gone up significantly, at least $1,000 per coin. And this is what brings me to essentially the title of this video, that, the fear of missing out, or FOMO, is essentially the worst thing that many people can get wrapped up in, especially if they are somebody, or if you are somebody who doesn't really know a lot about a particular topic. So I saw actually the next day or 2 days later, somebody else in the same coin shop looking to buy, big 100-ounce bars of silver, and they also said it's for the silver squeeze. They want to get it before it's too late. I know that myself and a handful of other content creators here on YouTube within the stacking community spoke out against this and said why the silver squeeze was such a bad idea, trying to warn everybody. So, and then you had the other people, channels like Silver Slayer, and then I can't remember some of the others, but the guy's a ball bag in my opinion, and he was essentially pushing this silver squeeze BS, along with other channels, essentially pushing fear onto people. It was all for clicks and what have you, but anybody who is honest and or smart would tell you that any sort of FOMO or buying into any sort of movement such as a silver squeeze is a terrible idea. Which also now brings me to gold, for example, being that it hit $3,000 an ounce. I know a lot of you are probably having a little bit of fear of missing out, and I want to reassure you that you should not feel that way. That, the gold that you see here took me a very long time to accumulate. You're looking at essentially 6 or 7 years of stacking with maybe 4 ounces of it that I bought back in 2004 or 2005, just because I happened to see a commercial back then advertising gold, and gold was at its all-time highs back then. And so I figured, all right, let me go buy 4 ounces of gold. And this is when gold was $880 an ounce. Man, I wish we could, turn back time. I was buying 10th ounce gold eagles for $110 back then. And these now are going for around $350 to $380 a piece. So fear of missing out is something that everybody gets in at one point or another for a particular investment or what have you. But for gold, it's not going anywhere. You're not going to miss out if you don't buy it. Yes, the prices can go up, but the prices can also go down. The one thing that I can tell anybody, the one piece of advice that I could give to anybody is not to just try to time the market and buy at any particular point. It is to buy consistently on a regular basis. So if you're looking to buy some gold and you've been thinking about it, yes, the price is at all-time highs right now. Yes, the prices can come down, but if you buy consistently, it will not matter. So if you go out today and you buy a 10th ounce gold eagle for $380 today or $350, depending on where you go, and then fast forward a couple months from now, if the prices drop maybe $100, $200 in spot, and then you're able to get another one for about $300 or maybe even $295, then you just dollar cost average down. Then your two pieces, or you're looking at around $320 cost per, right? And then over time you keep buying gold, and that's going to keep on happening. And then eventually you'll see yourself standing in the positive side of your investment. But don't worry about, if you're missing out. And, fear of missing out is a natural thing, but don't get worked up. And also make sure that you always, are, asking yourself questions about the videos that you're watching here on YouTube. Are the people just doing it for clicks? There are so many within the stacking community who just do all of this fear-mongering type BS that I've never been a fan of. I've always tried to keep a level, grounded message within my videos on my channel. So that being said, guys, fear of missing out, don't worry about it. Time now is to stack regularly and consistently, and you should be fine. Let me know in the comments below if you remember that silver squeeze nonsense, or if that was before you ever got into stacking, and I will see you guys on the next one.